Hey there, folks. I'm Joe Crawford of artlong.com. Pretty much every day I go to CSSBattle.dev and record myself solving the daily target. And that's what I'm going to do right now. This is great, right? I think this is really great. Interesting one. So I think one of the interesting parts of this is that if this curve repeats the bottom purple curve, then I think it intersects with here. So making that repeat might be tricky. So the question is, do we want to do that a different way? Okay, so the only way to do it is to do it. Ultimately, I'm going to use the blank template, which is let's modify a particular paragraph element and then and put these things in place. I think what I want to do, so what colors should we do first, I guess is the question. I think that the thing that I'd like to do actually is to push this guy down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 100. And I'm going to do the lowers on the paragraph, and the rest I'm going to do on the body. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, why am I doing that way? I think it's to avoid problems with the symmetry of that I think I'm seeing. Okay, and then the height here can be 50. Yeah, okay. Okay, so since I've done that first, let's do that first. I'm going to do radial gradient 1Q, the keyword circle would work as well. Transparent in the middle, 20 pixels maybe. Radius to start, and then the dark purple 0. And then I need another color stop, 40 pixels we'll try, and then transparent again. So that's how we get a circle. It's the wrong circle, it's in the wrong place, all the wrong things, but that's okay. Now, do I want to do, I think I want to do an at 30 pixels, 0, 40, 50, 55. Oh, interesting. We're already kind of in the interesting side. How about 50? 50 might be right. Let's do 25 on the inner. No, that's no good. That's a little bit off. Okay, so let's make the curve a little bit better. Okay, so now we got to move it over. Maybe this number's wrong. It's 75 margin. 80. There it is. Okay, and so this number ought to be 20, like I had it before. And then I give it a width. I put it at 0, and then say, well, it's 50% of the width, or 60, or 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 57, 58, 59. Ooh, tricky. Maybe I just give it a value. 100 pixels, 120, 30, 40. There it is. All right, so that's a lot of work for just that. And that is a very weird usage of a paragraph element. And again, I'll put black in the background so you can see. So that's the paragraph element. And then the rest of it is the standard way. If you watch any of these videos, you'll know that I really do enjoy very much a conic gradient. In this case, I don't think that's what I want to do. I'll start with the radial gradient. I'll do radial gradient. And it's very similar to this other guy, R1Q. Yeah, it's very similar to the one that we have in the paragraph element. So 1Q gives us a circle. Oh, and by the way, if you do 1Q, you don't need a final color stop of a 0. I forget that, and then I sometimes remember it. In battles, I absolutely remember it, but in this case, I think I've probably been forgetting. That's all right. Okay, so you're transparent, and I think it's the same radius, so 20 pixels inside. The light color 0, 50 pixels, and then transparent 0. So that's what that looks like. And because of the margins that we set, so if I add a 0, we won't have that margin problem. So can I use that? Maybe I can use that. So 10. So can I set a margin here? This is a very odd way to do this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 100. There it is. 1, 20, 30. I kind of like that. That's a funky solution. Let's make it a funky solution. All right, so we're gonna put this at some 40 pixels, 40, 50, 60, and then put it at 0, and then give it a width 200 pixels, 200, 300 pixels. Not too far over. How about 250? A lot of what I do is estimate and try numbers and try and get it right. 380. That looks right. So if I've got that, is that what I want? I mean, obviously I have the bottoms there. I could do the at 100% on the vertical and then move it up. So it's got a little code smell to it, but I think I'm not going to be bothered by that. I think what I'm going to do is change these transparents to be the light blue and the light blue. And then what I need is a covering linear gradient. Linear gradient, which is coming in at 90 degrees from the side. It's got this characteristic 30 pixels and then transparent. And I need a comma. So that's what I made. And what I want to do is have it be at 10 pixels over, which I think is right. And I want it to be 300 pixels wide. Maybe let's get it right. 3, 30, 40, 50. Sure. Give it a height, 100 pixels, and then have it repeat on the x-axis only. So that's how you get that weird space. So right now it's centered on the body. And so that's why it's where it is, which is, not a great spot for it to be, but that kind of works. Let's do 50 pixels. How about 150 pixels? How about 160, 70, 80, 90? 80 does it. And it's not tall enough. Want, want. Okay, so let's make this taller, 2. And I could use a number like 1 inch or 2 inches. That's kind of fun. I could do, 6 inches. It doesn't matter. Same number of characters. Oh, and I have forgotten that one of the things I wanted to do is not use transparent. Instead, I wanted the light blue to cover it. Yeah. And so let's submit that. So once again, I'm in Safari. The backend is Chromium. Sometimes, even though the diff, which is the intersection of the target and my code, if it's 100% matched, showing me that what's different about it. 100% match should be all black, even though we see a little bit of artifact there. All right, regardless, minify, replace and submit. Do I want to do this another way today? Given the yeah, maybe like there's not much different about how I would do it with no paragraph element. And so I feel inclined to pursue that. So to do that, I gotta nuke the paragraph element, nuke the code there for that. I don't need margins. I just need to put it in the body. There it is. So that's what it looks like without that. So then I need to tweak some of these numbers, right? Yeah, I'm gonna tweak the numbers. All right. So the first thing we've got is this weird, wonky. Um, we gotta move. We gotta move everything. Well, actually, no. we're actually in good position with the linear gradient. That's actually dead on. It's the radial gradient we need to move downward. So what, 20 pixels, 30, and there it is. So then I think it's another radial gradient. And that's going to be on top. And so I'm obliged to do only the tops of it. So that's 1Q at 50%, 100%, and all those numbers mean something. Transparent. Oh, I didn't do color stops. I do need to do those. So this is what, 30 pixels. This is 0. That's not right, is it? 20 pixels. Blah, blah, and then transparent. And then a comma. Oh, something's broken. Radio gradient. Oh, that was fun. I don't know what character I had in place there. Undo, 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 undo. So I had an equal sign. So that's hard to spot. Now, the color coding is helping me here, but this is one of the reasons that people are afraid of CSS, is that it is very sensitive syntactically. Like, I don't see anything. Why? Can you spot the error in that chunk of code? A good code editor, and this is pretty good code editor for sitting in a browser, will show you, hey, that color code is weird, but you still might not spot it. Okay, so there's our circle. Oh, and I've forgotten that I want to do the bottoms, not the tops. So that's hilarious. What I want is this to be the dark purple. Bloop, dark purple. And I want it to be at 0. Okay, and then I need to move it. So I'm going to put it at 0. Move it down 100, 200, 180. And then I'm going to need a width, aren't I? And I think this is where that repeat might hurt me. So that's what that looks like. So all those numbers mean something, and we're kind of getting, all right, so let's move this over, 40 pixels. And there's the repeat that I alluded to being a bad one. So 50, 75, no, 65. And then that width needs to be a little wider. And this can be 60. And there, see, there's our problem. So there's your problem. Now I could put the duct tape I could do is a box shadow inset uh, 10, 20 pixels 0, and then this color. And that sort of works, but then I would need margins. Oh, right, because we're on the body, so we need margins, so that's not good. That's a terrible solution. What I need is for that line to be in a different spot. So this is where the order of the thing that you create matters. So I'm going to comment all this out and then selectively choose which pieces I want to do. And because this radial gradient is the trickiest in terms of what will repeat, I'm going to simplify how I do this. I'm going to remove all of this spacing and then put it at 0, 0. So we get that. And then that repeat should be fine. Okay, so here we go. 20 pixels, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then down 20 pixels. And I only care about the dark purple at the bottom. And there, now I've got it. So what else do I need to do to make that work? I think what I want then is to cover it. So I need a layer above. So again, in the source order of the background or the background image, it's highest to lowest. So above it, I'm going to do a linear gradient. Again, coming in from the 90-degree angle. So coming in from the side. And I'm going to do that color. Plonk. Is that right? Yes, because I need to cover. So 20 pixels purple, 0, 200 pixels, and then I need the purple again. Oh, and actually I need the light blue now. And I'm not seeing anything. Why? Well, because why am I not seeing it more? Oh, because this number is wrong. I needed like 30, and then this is 200 pixels, and then this is like 230 pixels, and I need a comma. Oh, and I got something wrong. No, I'm missing a comma. There we go. There it is. So that, so what did I make? Well, what I want is for that to be at 0. And here's a fun fact. I can do left 0, bottom 0. That's not a terse, that's not a short syntax. I make it 200 pixels wide, or probably 300 or 300 and something, and then have the width. So, and then I would need to change the repeat X. So now when I do this bottom, I think I can do a negative number, minus 100 pixels, and that moves it down. Now, is that good syntax? For code golf, that's terrible. Like, I am adding keywords. It's just no good. But we're using background position to do what we want and put that gradient where we want it, and that's great. However, it's not serving us super well. All right, so instead of these numbers, I'm going to do 0, 200 pixels, which is the downward number. So what, 180? And then these numbers from the side. So this should be 10. Okay, and then this should be 40. You see the numbers that I'm doing there. And then I want transparent, actually. Great. That goes over to 330, and this goes to 3. And make that 400 pixels wide just for sanity's sake, just so I can see what I'm doing. This color stop needs to be wider. 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. And then this final number, I don't need an additional color stop because I'm going to let that repeat after that. And so if it started at 10, so this needs to be 390. And what did we just make? We just made that. Is that good? Ultimately, it's not that good. I am going to put the light blue here and here. And then my final layer will be this top radial gradient. Very very gradient heavy solution today. For those of you who prefer elements, watch again tomorrow. Yesterday was actually pretty good. I enjoyed that one. So 1Q. So this one, it's actually the first of the gradients that I wrote before at 30 pixels, 100%. Don't do the extra comma. And again, we need the same numbers as we needed before. I want that 20 pixels. We need the light color, 0, 50 pixels. And then I think we need the light blue again, 0. So there it is. And we again need to use what are we using? We're using a repeat X. So we need to have the width is 300 pixels and then the height is 50. whatever the height of that is, 180 pixels, and then repeat X, kind of. So you can see that it's trying to work, but I'm just not quite right. This should be 40, 50, 60. And then this width should be 280. And that gets it. Kind of a lot of work to do it that way. But that's how we learn. We try things, and you can do this with elements and clip paths. You can do this. There's so many different ways to do this. It's really kind of a fun one in a lot of ways. Um, and if you made one of these, not bother with repeat, you could make another and then flip it using scale -1, 1, right? So that would be another way to do this. You know that you do that. You can flip things upside down. You do scale -1. Oh, oh no, you can't. Not on the body. Not on the body. How about a transform? See, I'm saying things just out loud and not testing them. And that is just not doing what I want. Can I do a skew? This is not part of the video. 30 degrees. Yeah, it's not working on the body. That's right. So the body is not subject to transforms in the same way. I think that's correct. Regardless, let's minify and unit replace and get out of here. It's like 20 minutes and not my best day. That's all right. It's part of why we do these things is to practice, right? Practice and experiment. Yeah, it's just, I wish I were more excited about this code. I'm not thinking of a better way necessarily to do it all. You create flex and have this be the top parts of things with radial gradient with the what am I thinking of? Border radius, right? And have it all be borders and just do the halves of them. That's another way to do it. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you got this far, I hope you enjoyed this. Uh, go make a web page your own way. You don't have to use my code. But CSS and HTML are really awesome. They're fun to work with. The world continues to be hard, and I'm going to keep making web pages and doing other stuff too to be involved civically. But for this video, it's just CSS and fun. Take care of yourself.